to beat the
So
greats.
Sasha. So she still has to beat a different set of greats.
They're not great at AEW.
Well, that's the disagreement then. I'm like sweating from that conversation. Like we got heated.
Because you said something stupid.
Welcome back to
You're mean to me.
podcast. It's on Apple, it's on Spotify, it's on YouTube. Subscribe to all those things. You can find us on Instagram and X, Twitter. You know where the links are. They're in the description. This is 2024. Not putting them in some crazy weird place. So yeah. Oh, why is it not? One-man engineering band. All right. Let's get right into it. Last episode, people really liked what we talked about. I already had a second topic picked out, and it kind of goes in the same vein, and it's about Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, whatever you want to call her. Probably should call her Mercedes Moné. She's headed to AEW. Mm-hmm. Her buddy, Naomi, Trinity, whatever you want to call her, it's Naomi again, went to Impact, did her thing. Mercedes went to Japan, did her thing. Now Naomi's back in WWE, Elimination Chamber, all that jazz. Mercedes is going to AEW. Do you think she is better off going to AEW than WWE? Toni.
I mean, my choice will always be WWE. But I think this one's clearer than the issue with MJF here. I don't really like the women's division at AEW.
Why?
Well, why do you like it?
Because of all the hot chicks. Like, what kind of a weird question is that? Why do I like it? I think it's up and coming. I think they have a very good roster, and they have some veterans. They have some, greener indie talent, some homegrown people. I think it's got a nice mix, but I think it's missing that one big name, and I think Mercedes provides that. Toni Storm's done a great job of kind of being the first, interesting, unique character in that division. But you don't like Toni Storm's character?
Not a fan. And I'm gonna.
Really?
I don't. Here's the thing. Also, I again don't watch AEW as much as I watch WWE.
Right.
But I've seen Toni Storm on my television now about 5 times.
In black and white.
But I've never seen her wrestle, so I don't know her in-ring talent at this point. I think maybe it's just the times I've caught her on television. She's just been kind of doing her shtick, but not actually wrestling, so I don't know. But okay. I'm not a fan of their persona.
You don't like the character?
I don't.
Okay. Well, this isn't a Toni Storm driven thing. I'll give you that. It's kind of, I think it's hit or miss with a lot of people. Some people are really into it, and some people think it's a little cheesy. It's got a very 90s vibe to it, but not for women. Not a lot of women have an overtly character-driven presentation, I think, on either show. On WWE, or who's character-driven in WWE right now?
I mean, I don't...
Who's not just an extended version or a heightened version of what their natural personality is? Who's, I'm going to say Toni Storm's cartoonish.
But that's why I don't like AEW sometimes. I feel like they go a little too campy. It's a little too much for me.
With Julia Hart and kind of the dark goth thing. Okay, I'll give you that.
I think it's a little bit too much with the theatrics and the face paint and all that stuff.
Okay,
I think the women at WWE, I have not been following WWE as much until the past 2 years, right. Obviously. I did watch WWE back during the Attitude Era.
Right, but where are you going with this?
I'm just saying, I haven't seen the women's division, this great in a while, I feel like.
Okay.
At WWE. It's a very strong, the top contenders are very strong.
But here's the thing. Let me cut you off. Here's the thing. If Mercedes goes back and becomes Sasha Banks again, it's same old, same old. She's going back and the same women are on top there. Bayley, Becky Lynch, Charlotte before she was hurt, Nia Jax, Asuka.
So what's the problem? I don't understand.
Why would she go back there when it's been there, done that? She went to Japan and kind of started their women's division over there. And she went and was competing for the New Japan Strong title. And then she got hurt. And now she's going to come to AEW, where not only can she compete for the AEW title, but because of their relationship, she can still wrestle for New Japan. She can now wrestle for CMLL in Mexico and do stuff there. She can kind of take a Kenny Omega approach and become a belt collector and just start going around and becoming this all-encompassing women's star that's bringing in eyeballs from, 2 international audiences, plus maybe pulling in some WWE fans who still haven't given AEW a chance. And maybe there's some Sasha Banks fans out there who are like, oh, let me see what Mercedes Moné brings to the table.
Do you think then that the benefit for AEW is greater than the benefit for Mercedes Moné, right? Because Sasha Banks is a name. People know what she's capable of. We know she's great.
Former WrestleMania main eventer.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, you're not disagreeing with me.
Right.
Right. So, and their hope is that she brings eyes and elevates the women's division.
Like
so
she did in New Japan.
Is this relationship a little bit more one-sided where Sasha Banks can go where she wants and still be great? AEW kind of needs her, right? Would you say that they're benefiting more from her coming than from Sasha?
That's not the question.
Well, I'm asking you. This is a conversation.
Is she benefiting more? Is AEW benefiting more from her being there than she's benefiting? No, I think it's mutual. She's going to get paid.
She didn't get paid anywhere.
Not the kind of money that it's been rumored she was asking for. She wanted to go back to WWE and pretty much be their highest paid star, especially on the women's side. And I don't know what the pay is. I don't care about the pay. I hate that internet people get involved with the pay. It's for me. It's this. There is an entire roster of women there of all different levels that will benefit from her because I feel she is a step above all of them. Step above Saraya, the former Paige, step above Toni Storm, step above Britt Baker and Sheeta. I'm not saying these aren't top-level talents that have carried the women's division in AEW over the last 5 years, but she is just a hair above them and will elevate the ones that are close to her level and bring up the ones that aren't. I'm excited to see her versus Toni. I'm excited to see her versus Deonna Purrazzo, Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb, like all these people. And then it's gonna put such a spotlight on them, and it's gonna elevate the women's product where I think people will be talking about the women's wrestling and the matches on the same note that they do with the main event.
But could it be in
talent.
a negative way? Let's say she goes there, she puts a spotlight, and she puts the spotlight on people who aren't up to snuff.
I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think
you don't think she could highlight some of the people might not be talking about it, but then they're like, oh, we're seeing a different caliber of wrestling, and it's the juxtaposition is now highlighting the lack of talent. Could that be a possibility?
I think she's going to go. I mean, Edge
is that possible?
Edge. It's possible. I think Adam Copeland, Edge, has been doing the Cope Open where he's been taking on lower level talents and elevating them and showcasing them. And they've been having to step up their game to hang with a legend.
I'm just saying, is it possible that the reverse could happen where AEW could be showing that they need some work in the women's division and their only star is Mercedes Moné?
I think they're only... And I want to say crossover star, and people say that they mean like crossover to like mainstream media and movies and TV, which she already is. She's been in The Mandalorian, and she's done other things. She is a crossover star that she's done things outside of wrestling. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think they need that attraction. They need that person the way Adam Copeland came in and was kind of like, oh man, like this is a WWE guy, born and bred, lifelong, and now he's here, and he knows his place. They know what he can do, and they've booked him, in my opinion, very well. And I think it's the same thing's going to be there. And she's much younger. She's not an aging legend that's on the
twilight of their career.
The downturn of their career like him. I'm just comparing them because, I mean, these are main event WWE people. She's one of the cornerstones. She's one of the four horsewomen that kind of built the modern WWE women's division to what it is. The one that you like so much, it was her, Charlotte, Bayley, and Becky that were the foundation that they built it on.
Okay, well, since you made the argument
and I
comparing...
think she can do the same here.
Adam Copeland, it's weird to say that.
I know, I hate it.
Like it's a full name.
I love you, Cope.
He's not a full name. He's like he needs a moniker. It's just Edge.
I don't think any wrestling fan's going to kill us if they do.
I don't know. Anyway, since you made that comparison, I feel like it opens the door to my comparison. You know, when CM Punk came, there was clearly tension. There was clearly some backstage issues. He had some, not so friendly back and forth.
Right.
Given that maybe AEW might, the way you guys say it, strap a rocket to someone, obviously they're going to highlight and showcase their new shiny penny.
They're building a whole episode of Dynamite around her.
Yeah. This is going to be the center, and the women's division is going to basically, she's going to come in and build it. Do you think?
I wouldn't say she's going to build it. I think she's going to elevate it.
Elevate it. Okay, fine.
It's already there.
All right.
Good.
Let me finish. You never let me finish. Could that breed resentment?
Title of your sex tape. Could that breed resentment in the same way that CM Punk had problems with Jungle Boy and the Young Bucks?
Could that breed resentment with the women established, especially someone like Toni Storm, who's
that can happen that can happen anywhere. Toni
could it happen anywhere? She went to WWE. You think it'd breed resentment, given that there are so many women already elevated and amazing?
No, I'm saying just backstage shenanigans and rubbing people the wrong way. And I mean, CM Punk is back, and many WWE superstars voiced their concern and that they didn't want him there. Seth Rollins being one of them, who he was positioned to face at Mania. Like, there's always going to be people you rub the wrong way. I think that takes time. I don't think she walks in the door and people are like, "Who's this bitch?" Like, they know who she is. 40,000 new subscribers added to New Japan's streaming service when she debuted there and had a run there. That's a needle mover. That's somebody who's bringing new eyeballs and new dollar bills to the table.
And you don't think AEW is going to drop any balls in how they handle this? Like,
that's not the question.
But what do you mean? Why can't we have the conversation?
Is she better off in AEW right now than if she had taken the route that Naomi took and gone back?
So this is a different question than MJF.
At the same time.
I personally would have, if her issue with WWE was how she was being handled, and we're seeing a new regime, we're seeing new people at the wheel there creatively.
Triple H.
Why wouldn't you go back and see what they had to offer? Why wouldn't you check if the door was still open?
I think she probably did. I mean, things I read was that she did check in and she let them know what she thought she was worth. And I think they kind of like gave her a look like, what? Like, she left because she felt like she wasn't still seen in that same light, that same like top star light that some of the other women were. And, that you have to build new stars, Bianca Belair, Sky, Liv Morgan. They have to build new stars there so that there's fresh matchups for the main event women. And it like, instead of like waiting around and rehashing and being thrown in a tag team, which I feel like that's also kind of probably rubbed her. Like, her and Naomi were great as a tag team, but you got to feel like once you main event at WrestleMania, you think you're a top person there, top woman. And then she felt mistreated. And it's like, why would you want to go back to that on the off chance that some of that could come back around or that you could be mistreated again? Like, she has kind of like a blank canvas in AEW to write her story there and, be their top woman and feed these other women into her. Like, I don't know. I don't think right now for her, I think she goes back and there's not a lot of fresh matchup. There's a lot of rehash. They can't build anything off her. She goes to AEW. She can still wrestle in Japan, Mexico. She can wrestle in AEW. She can wrestle independents if she wanted to, if anybody could afford her, and just become a bigger star. It's the Cody route.
So do you think she goes back to WWE
after
showing them what she's capable of at AEW?
In 3 or 4 years, maybe.
Why wouldn't she go back now then?
It's the same thing with MJF. Why would she go back now when she could, again, make her name bigger?
Because there's only so much you can grow as a big fish in a little pond. The pond isn't going to get any bigger, so you're going to get stunted. You're going to plateau. Why would you wait till you plateau to then see what's better for you somewhere else?
What if she's the one that makes the pond bigger?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think one person, and I don't think that she's going to build that division enough to make the pond bigger. Especially since one of their bigger stars, Jade Cargill, went to WWE. And I feel like that would have been a great matchup.
I want to twist my whole body. Give Jade that she was a up-and-coming star. I wouldn't say she's one of their biggest stars. I think that they gave
She's the only one I liked at AEW, so maybe that's just a personal
because
preference.
of her presentation.
I think
but
she
see,
presents
you like
herself
her
better.
presentation.
Yes.
So I'm saying now everybody, Toni Storm's presentation is good and innovative and new and fresh. So like,
but it's not fun to
me. To you. But I mean, look at the way they brought Deanna in after her run in Impact, many years, many championships. She's a top, in-ring wrestler. I'm not a big fan of the virtuosa character. I don't think that carries a lot of weight. She's like, it's another person who's like Bret Hart. Like, I'm just a really good wrestler, and that's my gimmick. I'm a great women's wrestler, and I'm a good technical. That doesn't excite people. That doesn't get the audience behind her unless you just like pure wrestling. Someone like Sasha and the boss character, the Mercedes and the boss character, the big money character, like that, it goes above and beyond just her in-ring work. Like, it's going to bleed into her promos. It's going to bleed into how she interacts with the other women. So I think it's a next level moment. Like I said, she's kind of gone the Cody route where She did Japan. Now she's here in AEW. And who knows? Yeah, maybe in a couple years she does say, you know what? I'm going home.
Arguably, I could say there's no wrong move for her.
No.
I don't think that I think you could agree, if she went back to WWE, not a wrong move.
Not a wrong move, just not now.
But, and I can see your side of it, but that's not the choice I would have made.
Okay. So you think she should have gone back, debuted at the Rumble, maybe got in the chamber, tried to get a
because
main
I'm not
spot.
a fan of having to come in and show people and grow people, right? Like, I'm not. That's not me. That's never.
So you
been
prefer
me.
showers, not growers?
No, I'm just saying, like, why do I have to come in and help bring everybody up to my level? I don't want to face people not at my level, right?
Because there's nowhere else to go. If you don't want to go back and you still want to be a wrestler and you still want the spotlight.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That I would have gone back because at least I know at
networks.
WWE there's people on my level.
I think it's one of those things. Just
I'm sorry.
I think it's like LeBron. You want to go other places and win other places and do things in a different way. Like he went back to Cleveland after winning 2 championships.
That's different.
Is it?
It's different because he's still in the NBA.
But he went to a smaller team in a smaller market.
He's still in the NBA. He's still playing against the greats.
He's still playing on cable television.
It's not who you're
wrestling.
playing with. It's who you're playing against. It's who you're versus. It's your adversaries, not who you're playing. Like, this is ridiculous. That's difficult.
It's absolutely not.
No, it's like if he left the NBA, went to Europe because he wanted to bring everybody up on his level and played over there.
It's big market, small market. He was in Miami, which was a bigger market, and I dare say he elevated it.
But he's still amongst the greats, so he still has to beat the greats.
So Sasha. So she still has to beat a different set of greats.
They're not great at AEW.
Well, that's the disagreement then.
You think there's greats and legends and icons to be at AEW's
No,
women's division right
I
now?
think there's great women wrestlers there that not
on Sasha's level.
No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
sure there's great basketball players in Europe. They're not on LeBron's level. Okay, like that comparison made no sense.
It does if you look at it from a market standpoint. What I'm saying, the market.
But I'm not talking about the market. I'm talking about like now as a performer, as a wrestler. Yeah, because I'm yelling. I'm mad at you. That comparison tipped me off. That was ridiculous.
That's why we need an engineer. I'm like, well, her levels are off the charts. This is going to be a lot of gain.
You're gonna be like, no, I can't hear this.
Yeah. What did she say? She just.
But you do you understand what I'm saying there, right? You want to be the best, you got to beat the best. That's what they said in Bring It On.
She already beat the best. She already beat the best. She already was in the ring with the best.
So now she has to make everybody else better and then beat them. Like that makes I don't know.
It's like she's bringing up the team and making the team better and bringing a spotlight to Cleveland, to bringing a spotlight now to LA. Which I mean, LA didn't need it, but going back to Cleveland after being there.
No, I can get the argument on bringing fans to AEW.
It's a comparison.
It's like LeBron can bring fans to a smaller market that doesn't get the same airtime as the Knicks and the Lakers and everything. And that's what you're saying, right? She can go to AEW and bring the eyes, move the needle. What the hell?
Yes. Move the needle.
Right? I get that. But I'm saying that I'm not talking about the audience now and building the audience and building AEW. I'm talking about her career and going out there and wanting to showcase her talents against other people who are talented.
Right.
Okay, that's a different comparison, right?
Okay.
Am I wrong? Are you hearing me?
That's for the fans to decide.
Sometimes they agree with me, and sometimes they think this girl knows nothing.
What do you think, fans?
I'd say the last episode, decisively more people agreed with you than didn't. Like people were like, "Who's this guy?" Like, that's the woman who knows her wrestling. Like, yeah, no, I've been watching.
Why do they all sound like 20s gangsters?
That's primarily our audience. 1920s, 1930s gangsters. All right. So once again, we're not on the same page.
Sorry, I didn't
with
spit
that
out my gum.
You spit out your gum?
I didn't. I told you I would.
Oh, I'll say we got napkins at the table.
No, that's on.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So let's shift gears. I didn't even introduce us when it said it's just like
nobody needs to know who we are.
Chris Robinson, Antonia Robinson. Anyway, okay, we're introduced. I just put lower thirds up. Who gives a shit? Let's shift to reality television. I'm like sweating from that conversation. Like we got heated.
Because you said something stupid. Like that LeBron comparison, that was stupid.
We'll let the internet decide.
It was a dumb comparison.
Comparing markets. You even said big market to small market. That's what comparing.
And I'm comparing talent, and he's still playing against talented players in the NBA, the best that there is.
Speaking of the NBA, we'll shift to reality television.
Okay.
Because that's what we told people we do here. We could argue about Mercedes Sasha for another whole podcast. Big story this week, and I've been watching this show with you a little bit. Real Housewives of Miami.
Yes.
And now the big story is the possible breakup of Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are saying it's staged. They deleted all their Instagram photos of each other. Some people are saying that they're just doing it for the show, publicity, whatever the case. Let's talk about how weird it is that they're even dating, because he is the 33-year-old son of Michael Jordan. She is the 49-year-old ex-wife of Scottie Pippen, who won 6 championships together, and now they're a couple. Why?
I'm sure people have heard this conversation a million times because this is not new, right? But it's just so baffling to me that on their podcast, and we've seen them talk about it on the show,
Right.
They think the focus is on the age difference, which is weird in itself, because if a 49-year-old man was dating a 33-year-old woman, we'd be like, all right, that's kind of creepy.
16 years.
But this woman claims like she didn't know him before. And I'm sorry.
Impossible.
I don't believe you.
Impossible.
And like I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter how old, if I've met you as a child, it doesn't matter how old that child gets, that'll always be a child to me. Right?
Child, teenager, preteen, tween, whatever you want to call it.
I knew you as a kid, and as I grow older, I know you to still be a kid. You're still that kid. So it's weird to me that you can look at this grown man and say, oh, I knew you back then, and you hot now, and I want to date you. That's weird. I mean, listen, you fall in love with who you fall in love with.
I feel like it's a real Kazam situation where Marcus Jordan was like, someday I'm going to bang Scottie Pippen's wife. And Shaq was like, okay, whatever you need, Marcus. Like,
you know what else is like? But it's like weird because like he is not unattractive.
No.
I'm trying to be nice to you because I don't want you to think that I'm like looking at
No, Marcus Jordan is a
he's a handsome man.
Normal looking dude. Yeah.
He got money. You got Jordan money. You're of the Jordans, okay?
Yeah.
Like
I'm sure he's doing his own thing, but like, I mean, he does stuff.
He even said like
sneakers.
he's only flown private jets his own life, right? They didn't fly commercial until he was like in his 20s.
Michael Jordan's son.
Yeah, I get it. Dude, you could afford better. Like, this isn't the best it's gonna get. Like, Larsa Pippen ain't nothing. Like, she's a good looking woman, but you could get a hottie in her 30s and in her late 20s.
You can't tell me that at no point during Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen's careers together on the Chicago Bulls that there weren't like team family days, or like Michael didn't have everybody over to the mansion for like a team cookout, team building exercises with their families involved, because they're all millionaire basketball players winning championships,
or even just events for the Bulls. Like even if they weren't like family friends where they invite each other,
sort of family
there was
day.
an event where like the Bulls organization's like everybody come and bring their families.
Like, was she walking through those like Bill Cartwright's kids, ugly, John Paxson, nope, Horace Grant kids, oof. Michael Jordan's son, though.
It's just the obtuseness and the lack of self-awareness to think the focus is only on the age difference. Yes, it would be weird, but this relationship, it's beyond the age difference.
Like, this is a woman Michael Jordan clearly knew, and probably he spent more time around her than Mark as a kid. But like, to be like his teammate, his most well-known, famous when they compare great basketball players now, they're like, who's the Scottie Pippen to so-and-so's Michael Jordan? Like, who's the Scottie Pippen to LeBron's Michael Jordan? Like, that's what we do. Steph Curry, all those people. Like there's just no way that he can look at that and be like, you're Scottie's ex-wife and you want to date my what? Like it'd be less weird if she was dating Michael Jordan. It'd be like, oh shit, like that's happened in wrestling. Like Kurt Angle's ex-wife married Jeff Jarrett. Like Tully Blanchard's ex-wife with Magnum TA. Like I feel like it'd be less weird if she was dating a peer than a peer's fucking 16 years younger son. No?
Listen, I agree with you. I don't know what we're arguing about.
And do you think it's staged? Do you think the whole thing's staged right now with the breakup and the Instagram deletion, which is fucking high school?
You know what? It's like kayfabe, right? I never want to believe anything in the Bravo Celebrity world is staged. I want to believe it's all true. I want to react to it like it's real.
I'm shaking my head for audio listeners.
I do not believe any of this is calculated, orchestrated, coordinated. It's all real. It's all happening.
I mean, because the last thing I saw was he posted an Instagram story of like chopsticks and tagged her in it, and I'm like, all right, so they're clear. Something's brewing there.
Listen, I've gotten so mad at you where I'm like, bitch, I'm gonna like kick you out of the house. Like, that's it. It happens.
We're done, son. We're done.
Like I'll delete you from my Instagram too, but So I get it. I'm not saying that they were staging. I could see it being like an overblown fight.
I
And just got mad.
just want to know what other people think. I mean, I don't know if there's Reddit or Discords or I'm sure there's Bravo Facebook groups, the whole 9 yards. But for anybody watching or listening to this, like, I want to know: is it weird? Are we crazy in thinking that this is something's wrong?
The consensus for me, because I talk to more people about this stuff than you do, is it's weird.
All right, good. So we've got a consensus from 3 of your coworkers or some shit.
Yes.
You have to pause like 1, 2. Yeah, 3. It's 3.
It's 3. It's 3 people I talked to about this.
And the last thing we'll talk about is having babies and why instead of a baby you want a possum.
I didn't say instead of. Ideally, in an ideal
You can't
world,
have both. You
okay.
can't have a newborn baby in a house and a pet possum. We already have 3 cats and a hamster. And for the last several months, you send me a lot of like weird, like pet videos or like absurd animals that shouldn't be pets. But the one you've harped on the most is a pet possum. And is this all just because your parents were feeding a wild possum outside their house, feeding it cat food before they got their new cat, and you were like, "Oh, then we could domesticate a fucking possum"? Like, what is this infatuation with possums?
Because they get such a bad rap because they look so weird. but
Because they're disease-ridden a lot of the time. I mean,
disease-ridden.
huh?
What?
I'm disease-ridden. You married me. Should have gotten this guy tested.
But
what is it about possums that you're so infatuated
I don't
with?
know. I like the silent O in their name.
What?
Yeah, possum.
What does it? Don't care what?
I
The
like-
physical animal. What makes you look at that animal and go, that is something I want sleeping in my bed with me and cuddling, and I want to, like, what? What is the what
I like
is the
possums.
positive?
I don't know what to tell you. People ask me the same thing about you. What is it about that man that says marry him? And I said
I don't potentially have rabies.
potentially.
I don't have a face like somebody like it's cartoonish. Like, it's a cartoonish animal. It like hisses.
Can I have a skunk?
No.
Right.
Oh yeah, she sends me a video of a skunks. Where's that place that they like?
NJ Exotic Pets.
It's in New Jersey,
Yeah,
where we are.
and they descent the skunks,
Yeah.
and you can have the skunks. You can also get a sugar baby. Or
Can't we just take Isabel, our long-haired all-black cat, and just put a white stripe on her? Like, just
What
bring
is
away
this,
the-
Looney Tunes?
Yes.
Flip
You're a big
you.
Looney Tunes fan. There's a Looney Tunes fucking poster in our hallway, a piece of artwork with all the characters. Yes, this is a Looney Tunes family. So if you want to be ridiculous, let's put a white stripe down our long-haired black cat.
It's not the same.
It's not?
Well, okay, so I will make a trade-off.
Do you want it, like, hanging from things?
I
Like,
will
they
stop
hang?
asking for possums if you stop buying store-brand cream cheese.
What? What does that have to do with anything?
It's just a trade-off.
It's cheaper. Groceries, this is an inflation podcast now?
I'm tired of store-brand cheese.
This was a whole other topic we want to talk about, and somehow you...
I'm trying to find a way to get you to stop buying bowl and basket brand items.
Why do you guys shout them out, huh? Why do you guys shout out ShopRite store brand? Oh, my God.
So
That's the trade-off. If I buy Philadelphia light cream cheese,
that's the only
you'll
cream cheese
stop
you should be
messaging
buying.
me about having possums.
I won't stop
and skunks.
messaging you, but I won't get one.
Yeah, you're not going to get one.
You can't stop me.
You want a
I
baby.
live here too.
You want a baby. You want a baby around a possum?
We'd keep them separate, obviously.
How?
Can we get chickens?
No. Why? Why do we don't own a farm? If you want a farm, let's buy a farm.
And then we can get chickens.
Or a zoo.
Are you saying
If you got farm buying money, then what are we doing here? Why are we doing this podcast?
if this podcast takes off and we get farm buying money, we can have chickens, is what you're saying. Are you saying?
I'm not taking care of them.
We would get like farm hands, duh.
We would get farm hands. Oh my.
You have to get a property manager for a farm. That's an estate. You got it. We can't. We're not going to do it ourselves. Can we get emus too?
No, this went off the rails.
Emus and chickens and possums aren't farm animals. I don't think.
This went off the rails.
Groundhogs.
All right. Real quick before we wrap it up, Elimination Chamber coming up this weekend, 5 a.m, our time. So not watching it live. 2 chamber matches. Who do you think wins them?
No, I don't know.
You
I
don't
don't
know?
I think I assume it's. I'm assuming it's Becky
Yeah.
and Drew.
Yeah, those are the correct answers.
Oh,
I mean,
I wasn't gonna analyze it, but that's who I thought it was.
it makes the most sense.
Especially with Drew pinning Cody recently, I feel like that's like the setup
for him to take on Seth.
Yeah.
But it's just they're just building Drew so that he's top.
And then
he already was a top guy, but
I think it's Becky because there's just been too much jawing, too much jabbering.
Becky and Rhea's the money matchup. She's still a top babyface woman. Yeah. You know, they just turned Bayley back babyface, so yeah, it's definitely gonna be Becky and Rhea. All right, good. You've been paying attention, you know your stuff.
No. According to the internet, this bitch don't know nothing about wrestling.
All right, good show. No.
Did I speak Factonese?
Oh God! All right, no one. You're not allowed to read internet comments anymore.
They're fun. That guy was creative.
The positive ones. They're giving you two in the big head. All right, this is You're Mean to Me, a podcast on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Listen, download, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. You know what to do. I hate saying it, and they're like, you have to remind people. Like, no, you don't. All right, thank you all for watching and listening. I'm Chris Robinson. This is
Antonia Robinson.
All right, and we will see you hopefully next week. We're gonna try to make this weekly. We took last week off, but we're gonna try to make it weekly, right?
Yeah.
All right. We still need to come up with a sign off.
Bye.
Bye. Look at the camera.